All right, we're back, and I have now erased the whole entire horn. And where I did not have to erase, where the edges were relatively smooth, and close up here you can see some difference, but I came in with the blur tool here, and I have it set like my eraser was pretty strong, and to create that sfumato soft edge so it doesn't look like that horn will be cut out once I play with it and paste it onto any photo that I do. I've softened that edge with the blur tool where I didn't have to erase and get the blur tool there. So if I don't have to erase and I've got a photograph that comes in clean, when I use those tools, I'll make sure that I've got the blur tool. So you can see it looks nice and clean now. I can turn that black layer off and work just on the horn layer. And I know that the horns that I'm looking at are going to be very dark, but then I also may want to add some paint. So for the first thing that I can do is go to adjust an adjustment layer, and I can see what happens when I play with things like invert. And that's pretty cool, but that's not quite what I want to do. Let's see. Adjust. I'm not sure that I want to go clear to black and white because I do want to add some color and highlights into whatever I do to paint. But I can also just go into levels and adjustment and just darken her up to almost pure black there, up down to the tips and everything. And I think I'll start with that because then I've got that real pure look to the image there. And then I need to duplicate it to start building that look, and I think dogs and cats would wear more natural looking horns, so I know we're looking at comic book, and I've got those type of things to think about here. But that's part of why I wanted to work with the deer horn look instead of drawing and building something here. So I'm going to duplicate that layer, right click and duplicate it. And then the one that I duplicated, I'm going to go to transform and flip horizontal. Now I've got it already going two different directions, and it's making kind of a neat headband look going right there from the horns, and I could play and do more just by dragging the two areas closer together. So right there I think might be kind of cool. Then I might stop there with the horns the way that I've got them and leave them, and I'm tempted to leave them on their own layers for right now, but I'm getting that feel of Hela's headpiece there that turns her into the monster from hell. So I think that's pretty good. So one of the things that I can do now in filters to add a little color so it's just not so pure black, I can come into one of the layers here and try it out. And one of the things that adds some color, and since we're doing layers and we're working with our things with photographs, is I believe it's under trace contour. That definitely isn't it. It's filter. Ooh, I could do flames in here. Now we've got beautiful flames. I'm thinking about all the different things that are here. How about we can look and see what Solarize does. Since I've already made this black, I think that very little will happen. So I'm going to, since I've got layer 1 copied, I'll select all, and I'll copy it because I can always go back and put it on a new one. File, new, clipboard, create. So I've got those black and paste them in place. Now I've got that one there. Whoops, it wasn't big enough, so let's drag him over so we don't lose him. So I've got them there, and I can always go and step back to enough history-wise. So if you haven't done that, you're going to go to History on Windows, and that will pull up all the things that you've done here. And I'm going to step back to before I did levels, and I've got that one there. So I can try some of the things because we're going to put them as a layer on top, so we've got a little bit of color, so it isn't just this pure black. So under filter, sure I'm on the right layer, deselect, deselect, okay. Filter, let's see what we've got here. Find edges. That just made that white. There's one that's very colorful, and since it's so gray, it might not be colorful. That I definitely think was one of the ones that I was thinking of, the trace contour. So I can add some of these really colorful points to a layer and I can adjust them up, go into vibrance and make them a little bit more vibrant and saturated. Okay, and this again will select all and copy it, and then we'll go back to the history, which was here, and again we're going to go to our levels and take it black again. Just about black, how about there? And then paste. Paste into place. And so now I have the black one and the color one on two different levels, and I could play then with layer style. So here's layer and here's layer style, and I can look at blending options. And here's the blend mode under blending options. So I can try some of these things when I bring them together to see which one. I'm thinking maybe difference. Difference is too different. Hard mix. Hard mix may be too much. And then you can do percentage here so that you can add a little bit of color, vibrancy, etc. through mixtures. That vivid light, hard light. And that's just on that top layer of what that will do with the mixture there. There it is with hard light. And that's 67%. We could try luminosity, try all the different ones here, saturation, until we get just the look that you want. And I want a little bit of so that it isn't all black, but I don't want it to be so black and white. So that's a possibility that you could do with your photographs to change the color beforehand. I think what I need to do is use my magic wand one more time and grab the white. Well, let's do it a different way. If you haven't used the selection tool that selects the color, this would be the perfect time to do that. So if you go to select and you go to color range, and this way I can just be specific and choose a whole color range, and look, I still have little flecks of color of white out there in the background that I didn't think that I did. So that's going to get, I can slide this and see in real time. So here it is down to 0 with white. I think that's probably pretty good. And then again, I can cut it or just backspace it. And as you can see there, I didn't get the pure white there. So let's try it one more time. Select color range. And want maybe this. All right. Oh, there it is. That's what I wanted it to be. That I wanted it. Isn't that much more interesting than the complete black one? That I wanted there to be some fancy color looking, more painterly looking than just the pure black photograph. So now I'm going to merge that down because it's perfect. And now that horn is definitely there, and then I can duplicate it and flip it, and I have the headpiece that I want. Edit, transform, flip horizontal, and move them slightly. And then I can say them as 2 layers or 1 layer, but it is ready to be my horn piece for my cat. And I think it's lovely. I really like it.